Well, there is medication-assisted treatment for alcohol use disorder, and various people who are on the pharma camp would probably say that the drugs for alcohol use disorder probably mess with the brain or stimuli the brain, similar to alcohol in the same way that the opioids for medication-assisted therapy would stimulate the brain. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that. That's just um, what the pharma explanation would be. And I was listening to you speak just there, and I realized that I think I slightly misspoke when we began, so I'm going to correct that. And I also realized this is going to be a fun conversation because I think we're going to have an opportunity to talk about some controversial things I think about. So, yes, I have multiple friends who have suffered from addiction, and the only way that they have gotten over their addiction is through abstinence. Typically, it's alcohol, but it's not just alcohol. But basically, most of them went to AA. They realized they had a problem, admitted there's a higher power. I'm not sure how much of the 12 steps necessarily needs to be done. It seems like it works for a lot of people, so I'm not against the 12 step at all. But end of the day, they just understand that they don't have control over the substance and that they have to uh, basically abstain from it for as long as possible, if not for the rest of their lives. And people who are addicted to opioids and similar types of narcotics and drugs, that's probably their best approach. The best way to address an addiction is to get yourself to the point to where you can be without it. And however you get there, you're going to have to get there, and you're going to have to be very strong to get there. And you really don't want any taste of it around you because that's just going to throw you into the cycle of hell that you were in previously. Now, I want to address a little bit of what I said. What makes medication assisted therapy useful in the current legal environment is the fact that heroin and other opioids for recreational use are illegal. So alcohol, you the best way to get over your alcohol addiction is to abstain from alcohol, right? But you live in an environment where alcohol is legal. Unless you have some sort of court order, you are able to obtain alcohol and drink alcohol if you choose not to abstain. The best treatment path forward is abstinence, but you live in a legal environment where that might not be possible. And various people in opioids and opioid addiction are coerced to go through treatment and are coerced to stop using when they don't want to. So if you have someone who's coerced to stop using opioids. Second best from just having a completely legal market for them to access them legally in exactly what they want. The second best situation is probably pharmaceutical access through treatment, but it's definitely not an ideal situation. And I think all of the issues you were pointing at are actually correct.
If you liked this video, check out the full interview. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you get notified every time a new video is uploaded. Thanks for watching.